Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for My Hero Academia.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we sync up pretty well.
Yeah.
This is the in-between episode.
It looks like.
Yeah, something after the cavalry battle and before the tournament. This one's called The Boy Born with Everything. Huh.
They're talking about Mineta.
They're talking about Mineta, yep.
Yeah.
This is obviously going to be the super intricate backstory on Mineta's really harsh upbringing that caused him to become a crazy pervert. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly.
The underpants on his costume are really a metaphor.
Yeah, really deep metaphor. No, seriously. We're going to get some Todoroki backstory.
Yeah.
But you know what this means, right, guys? I'm gonna slap the heck out of this guy.
Yeah,
He's
right.
Going down.
You wish. I'm gonna slap the heck out of you. I will not hold back.
Oh, that's what you think. Okay. All right. Well, given that there's going to be some element of Todoroki's backstory probably brought up in this episode, we will save any and all slapping until the end of the episode so that we can make sure that it's confirmed that it's actually
all right. Yes.
Actually legit. And if anything's ambiguous, we'll decide whether or not it's worthy of actually solidifying the bet.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to some seriously intense conversations. We haven't had a lot of good in-depth conversations.
And it looks like we'll get
for a while.
Maybe some conversing with Endeavor as well, because All Might and him
looks
like they were gonna have a little chit chat.
Yeah, but All Might has a time limit, so they can't.
That's true. They can only have it last 3 episodes.
Anyway, this is great fun, guys. But without further ado, let's just get into this episode. Okay.
Yep, straight up
festivities
in between episode. He's playing this one cool. Cold intimidation.
I was OP. I took an arrow to the knee. Oh, a pledge. Oh. Jacob, I think you were right.
What? This could be a problem. Wait.
That actually kind of makes sense from his perspective.
Right, because they're passed genetically, so...
Right.
He is Jon Snow. Wow.
Classic Deku.
You should have just been like, yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, you should have just gone along with it, Deku.
Smart. Stuck.
Oh, right, because how do you beat All Might? Like...
Whoa, 10 years. I mean, they're professionals, but
that is a long time.
Yeah. Wow. Don't be so cold.
Exactly.
The puns. Whoa.
Wait, that?
Oh, wow.
Wait.
Wow.
Is this like a Medusa Corona thing? Dang.
And you said he's not the Father Lord. Crushing force.
Yeah.
Right. Making Todoroki so that he could do it. It's the guilt thing. It's getting passed down. I'm telling you.
Well, yes.
Oh, shoot!
Okay.
Manipulating genetics with quirks.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, that's so messed up.
That is seriously messed up.
Wow. Yeah, serious lack of ethics.
Oh, he won over her relatives.
Oh, buddy.
That's
Jeez.
He's abusive or something, and that's why he doesn't use his fire.
Yeah. Holy crap!
What? Wait,
I guess I was right.
Shut up.
Dude, and then
wait,
you were right. Holy crap!
Wait.
Bakugo heard everything.
Oh wow.
This is insane. Wow. Okay, that was pretty funny.
Very meta.
But, tragic backstory.
But
yeah. Wow. Well said.
I love that they made Bakugo hear all that.
Dude, what?
Why? Wait,
he was on his team.
Yeah, he was. Shoot.
Oh, he's just calling him out.
Wow. They're just okay.
Maybe it's some kind of memory manipulating thing.
Sure. Or like possession or something.
Sure.
I call bullcrap. Just do it, dude.
Oh, he was also on the same team.
Well, but I mean, it hasn't been exactly fair so far.
Oh, Kirishima.
ここは主審ミッドナイトの采配がどうなるか。
Ah, gotcha. Okay, here we go.
Oh, that was
we'll
fast.
We'll see. Stay tuned, Kirishima.
Of course.
Oh,
that
doesn't seem fair. Nice. Yeah, who are you fighting, Deku? He's fighting purple-haired guy.
What?
And then Todoroki's fighting
Sero? Are you kidding me?
That's
so
the tape guy?
Yeah, so Deku's gonna fight Mind Control and then Todoroki.
Well, if he beats him.
Well, I mean...
He's not even from a hero class.
Huh?
Oh my gosh. His quirk is that strong.
That's the perfect weakness though, because oh man.
Dang. No!
What the crap? Are you kidding me?
Bakugo and Uraraka?
No.
What if Uraraka wins though?
That would be awesome.
Oh. Whoa. Calm down, Ida.
Wow, he's just staring at a wall and sulking.
Okay, start this episode. Dang. Which
Yeah.
fight are they gonna do first, though?
Probably Deku's. But they could do...
Oh, I love that sound bite. Hey guys, are you ready?
Oh, that's cool.
Well, yeah, he has cement powers. He's like a weaker earthbender. Or a specific type of earthbender.
Yep, Deku.
Jeez.
But he knows now that he just has to not answer him, right? Wow.
He can get 20 times stronger.
And that's not even including One for All, right? Or Plus Ultra? That's good point.
Oh, that's very good, All Might. Just hate him.
Yeah, but Deku's not gonna fall for it. Wait.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
Deku.
Really? Deku's smart. He wouldn't fall for that. Well, you might get your wish. You might be out right at the beginning.
Alright, so we've got some special things for you guys. This episode, we found out the brackets for the tournament. So we took a little bit of a break and got up a little something for you guys for our predictions. So
now,
we're going to do those before we get into discussion about the episode as a whole.
And here's something else to say. So, since the previous bet has been resolved, I mean,
well,
we need to resolve it. Soon. Yes. But we're going to be doing a new bet.
Yes.
With our predictions. Mm-hmm. The stakes will be one slap. Mm-hmm. Just a slap. But it's going to be by who has the most accurate
guesses, basically. Just like a March Madness bracket. So the first row of fights, if you get that right, that's a point. Next row, 2 points. Next row, 4 points. And the final fight, 8 points. And whoever gets the most points gets to slap the other person.
Exactly.
So, Jacob, do you want to show your bracket guesses first?
Yes.
Okay,
sounds
let me
good.
Bring this up here. Pull this right here. All right, so this is Jacob's tournament bracket predictions.
Right. So the thing that I noticed right away is that Deku and Bakugo were on opposite sides, and since they were introduced as rivals at the beginning, it makes sense for them to just sort of go towards each other at the top. I was very surprised Todoroki was so close to Deku in the runnings.
Right, so you expected him to be maybe where Ida was,
exactly,
so that they would fight each other in the semifinals. But because they're so close to each other, Todoroki is going to lose. Why do you think Todoroki is going to lose?
Because this is Deku's story.
Sure.
Even though he said the whole thing of like it would make more sense for Todoroki to be the main character if this were a comic or whatever, Deku is the main character. My Hero Academia doesn't subvert the shonen genre. They just do it really, really, really well. And if you think about it, this is a great progression for Deku because it starts with the mind control guy. I don't know how he's going to win that fight because of that stupid idiocy there. But
the next fight,
then the next fight is Todoroki, and if you notice, it's going backwards from how recently they've been introduced.
Ah, gotcha.
Starting from purple-haired guy Shinso, who's the most recent, to Todoroki, then to Ida, then Bakugo, who was introduced at the very beginning of the show.
Gotcha. So he's basically making his way through his his rivals, going all the way to the top.
Yes.
And beating all of them.
Now,
let's go through all the little fights though. So Sero gets whooped by Todoroki.
Absolutely.
The new girl with the
green hair
faces Kaminari and loses.
Yes.
I think that's something where ours actually differ. I put the green hair girl as winning.
I mean, maybe she has like a great quirk or whatever, but if it's just that seaweed tendril hair or whatever, that's not enough. Kaminari has electricity.
Okay.
I would love it if she did win, because one of the things I've noticed that is really kind of disappointing is that
noticed it. Yeah, I
there's
noticed it too.
no girls after the first round. I think that Naval Laser Guy is going to lose just because he's the shtick. Nobody likes him.
In terms of going into the semifinals, there are no women.
Come on. I mean, Momo and Uraraka getting taken out in the very beginning, because, I mean, they're going to be. But,
I could see Momo performing an upset, but yeah. You basically, this looks very mirrored in the predictions. We have Tokoyami and Ida going to win 2 fights before they get beaten in the semifinals by shonen protagonist main characters who then go to the finals and win. So Bakugo loses in second place, very much like my prediction that Bakugo needs to kind of get beaten at the end, but you don't think it's going to be Todoroki at the end. You think it's actually going to be Deku.
And the way they set it up, it seems like most of them are actually pretty obvious, because Bakugo has to fight Kirishima because,
right,
that just has to happen.
That would be much more of a tension fight than Tetsu. And also, Tetsu's quirk being so similar to Kirishima means that Kirishima will win, but it will be used as some way to perform character development for Kirishima.
Right.
I think the fight that really pisses me off the most, though, is Uraraka versus Bakugo, though.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because there's almost no reason for her to win if we look at it objectively.
And here's the thing.
And it's going to hurt because they made us really identify with her desire to.
They set her up to actually try and go the mile, right?
And
they're making her make her get taken out in the very first round.
So it better be a worthwhile fight.
It really better. Same with the one of Momo versus Tokoyami.
I think there's less tension for that one because Momo doesn't have any backstory.
Yes, she doesn't have a super strong Y right now, but as far as quirks go, she has probably the coolest and most creative quirk.
It's true,
there.
Yeah. Okay, so do you mind me going over to mine now?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so let me pull up mine to the top here, guys. So that was Jacob's. You notice there's going to be very few differences here. We made ours separately, but
that's very similar.
Looks very similar to his.
It's almost exactly the same.
So there's some very strong differences, and this is basically going to decide, I think, who wins this slap
whether
bet.
Todoroki or Deku
whoever wins in that fight, Todoroki or Deku, will basically determine who wins this thing, unless our predictions are all completely off base.
Right.
But I don't think, like we said previously, we can smell the shonen from a mile away. This makes perfect sense that Ida and Tokoyami make it to the semifinals based upon the people that they're put into place with, Bakugo is not going to lose to any of those people until he gets to the end, and that's where he gets beaten. I also put Ashido to beat the Naval Laser. I put...
but you think Kirishima's going to lose to the green-haired girl? I think that's...
No. That's Kaminari. Kirishima's going to beat Tetsutetsu.
Yes. Kaminari.
The one that I want to see an upset, like I want to be wrong, is Momo. But the thing is, Tokoyami's like one of my favorite characters, so I kind of...
Yeah.
I'm looking at him a little bit biased, but given the performance that Tokoyami had in the cavalry battle, his quirk is insanely strong. In fact, I think he might even give Bakugo a little bit of trouble. But
Bakugo has a fire quirk.
But given the people that Tokoyami is up against, I do not see how Acid will defeat a Dark Shadow. That does not make sense. The ones that I actually think could be a little bit tricky is Ida might have a little bit of difficulty in his fights. The green hair girl I could see being very strong against him. I could also see the support class girl just being very annoying and like actually providing a little bit of difficulty. But it's all really going to come down to Deku versus Todoroki.
Yes, that's true.
It's going to be the question of, is Todoroki going to be willing to use his fire? Is Deku going to be willing to use one for all the way? And if they both do, it's basically like flipping a coin. But I think the story is building it up to where Todoroki is going to develop a little bit by that point. Because if we think about this in terms of episodes, right? The next episode, we're going to have Deku and Shinso's fight.
Yeah.
And then we maybe will have Todoroki and Sero's fight. The next episode after that is going to give opportunity to just go through a bunch of fights of, not to be rude, but people that we don't really care about as much. Ida, yes, but they could go through tons of fights really quickly.
Sure.
And then once they get to the Uraraka Bakugo fight, and then after that have the Deku Todoroki fight, those could each be individual episodes.
That's true.
And in that time, they could have given a lot of character development for Todoroki, which would give enough for Deku to basically lose to him.
But Deku's still the main character, so they've been giving all this development to Todoroki. I don't think they're going to keep that up just because they're not going to have the entire season 2 be about him.
Well, no, see, that's the thing. There's not that many fights after Todoroki and Deku.
Well, okay, here's a way.
Like, there's not that many fights.
No, there aren't.
And a lot of the fights that are immediately after that are very one-sided, in my opinion. So they'll happen pretty quickly. Like, Bakugo versus Kirishima should not last long. Tokoyami versus Ashido should not last long. If anything, green hair versus Ida could be a little bit tricky.
Well, okay, but here's the other thing. Most of these fights are set up based upon like being meaningful fights, not just of the quirks, but the people behind the quirks. There's no reason for the Todoroki versus Ida fight to be like really especially meaningful. I mean, yes, Ida wants to win.
I see what you're saying.
It would be so much more if Deku was fighting him.
I see what you're saying.
And if Deku fights Todoroki, right? They could have the fight be really epic, and then have Deku injure himself with One for All as a way to make it so that way it's not just like he beat Todoroki, so that means he's obviously going to beat everyone else, you know?
Sure, but there's Recovery Girl for that, so I don't know about that.
That's true.
The other thing is that by that point in the story, they could stop Todoroki's character development kind of focus and shift it around to people like Bakugo and Ida and Tokoyami.
Yes.
And then they do that. They give extra weight to Ida's fight in particular, but it also gives maybe a little extra weight to the Bakugo-Tokoyami fight. And then when they finally get it to Bakugo and Todoroki, because there would never be an upset between Todoroki and Ida or Tokoyami and Bakugo, it would then be the thing of Bakugo declaring that he will be number one, and he ultimately fails because Todoroki goes through some serious growth this season and is willing to, I don't know, actually, come to grips with, the struggle that he's dealing with.
Right, have it be acceptance, not just a reactive.
All right, so that's the gist of it. So we'll come back to this here. Yeah, so we've got a lot of theories about how the immediate stuff is going to play out, but we're putting that bet into effect now.
Yes.
Whoever wins that one
Now-
gets a nice juicy slap.
Okay,
But
so do you want to just get this over with?
you want to get this over with right now? So, okay. Mom poured boiling water
So,
on
all right.
his face.
Now-
I need to know why. Because she said something like
Your left side is disgusting.
unsightly or something. Yeah.
There's got to
There
be
needs
more
to be some
it
more
than
to that.
Like a lot more to it. Now I would like to point out, even
getting ready.
though I was wrong, I was right because they did not make his dad burn him. It wasn't a Fire Lord
Yes,
thing.
but we changed the bet to
I
make
know,
sure that
I know.
It was
just is it a burn or is it not a burn?
Right.
Yeah, whatever. But also, I would like to point out that my logic about why it couldn't be a burn still works from the standpoint of it couldn't be a fire burn. It wouldn't make sense to be a fire burn because he has a fire quirk. So,
But
there's that
ice
too.
is water too, so I think if anything, Jacob, it's that it happened at such a young age where he wasn't good enough with his quirk.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's why he's extra messed up. So you ready?
All right.
Ready
well,
for the
now,
slap?
I just want to preface this.
Yeah.
You need to make it a good one because,
good one?
yeah.
This guy's a freaking masochist. He's like darkness.
No,
from
because
Konosuba.
see, here's the thing. When I win the next one, I'm going to slap the crap out of you.
Oh crap.
So, all right, go for it.
So wind up. Should I left to right or right to left?
If you do it with the left, the left might be better because of this thing. But if you do it with the left,
actually
you might wanna
just scoot more this way. All right, guys, we're gonna get
scoot more. Which way?
this way.
Okay.
All right, guys.
right.
I do not condone violence against others, but he's consenting to this, and this
And
is the
we're
bet.
brothers.
And we're brothers, so it's cool. You ready?
All right, go.
Yeah, that
right.
was a good one.
Yeah, that was all right.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right,
It
so
wasn't
that's done with.
It wasn't brutal, but you also owe me $5.
Yes, I'll get that to you. Yes.
Okay, so given that we got Todoroki's little backstory thing
Yes.
in there,
So
there's some juicy bits in there.
okay, so
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that was I did.
I did not
Anyways.
expect that fully. So we have Todoroki basically has the pressure of being the creation of an arranged marriage by
Yes.
quirks.
And it almost like, can you really even call it a marriage?
Yeah, I
Like,
was
that
sensing
almost-
some serious not so
consensual.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Themes running in there. It seems like Endeavor convinced his eventual wife's parents and relatives
To like sell her.
to like make this happen. And they said it was back before the time of certain ethics kind of governing that type of thing. So
like
yeah.
Yeah, that-
maybe the reason why she burned the kid is because she really hates Endeavor,
And
but
that
she
was the
just
only way to
let
get
it-
back
She
at him.
only let it out
Okay.
on him because
because
he
she
reminded
couldn't do
her.
anything against Endeavor.
Yeah,
Now-
she can't at
Now
all.
that now okay. All right. If she did that to Todoroki, if Todoroki was really young, he still might not understand, and usually, especially in a case where you have an actual like abusive relationship, the person still very much cares and loves the
abuser.
So here's what I could see happening. All right. Todoroki still loves his mother, who, by the way, what like would have happened to her? Because Endeavor probably would have been pretty pissed, right? So
Yeah, it's a good
So
point.
he might have done something to Todoroki's mother, which, if he's Zuko,
Yeah.
then we can have an awesome moment where Todoroki goes up to Endeavor and says, "Where is my mother?"
Yeah. That's pretty clever. I didn't think about that. That's a pretty good logical step-to-step conclusion. But what I would see him maybe doing is keeping her, like, not, he probably did hurt her, but he probably kept her around in case he needs to make another Todoroki.
Oh,
Isn't that disgusting? Like,
that is.
yeah.
Who's to say he hasn't already?
Who's to say he hasn't already? That actually would be really interesting. I mean, it would be pretty horrible, but it would be pretty interesting story-wise to kind of deal with in the future is Todoroki 2.0 and Todoroki 3.0 and all that, and see if there were any variations of things that changed based
Right, because the
upon...
quirk isn't like it
You
doesn't
couldn't
have
clone
to
a quirk.
Yeah, you couldn't
basically.
clone a quirk. It wouldn't be exactly the same, but it would be
Similar, yeah. So with this, it seems like Todoroki specifically refuses to use his left side, very much like you guessed, because it's something from his father,
and he wants to cut ties to him.
And he wants to do everything himself.
Right.
And his father is wanting him to do everything for him, for his.
Right.
It basically is putting his dream, his legacy, and all that on top of
Yes.
him in a twisted version of what we suspected, that he wants him to kind of carry on the torch and stuff. But instead,
surpass him and all
yes, instead he's saying, no, you will beat All Might. It reminds me actually a lot of Yakone and Tarlok from Legend of Korra. Yeah. Kind of, you will destroy the Avatar for me and you will avenge me. And this has that very similar, there's almost a semblance of similarity to it. And that is weighing so heavily on Todoroki that he seems to be a, what do you call it, a kudere?
Yes.
Kind of a suppressed emotion character. So he doesn't he doesn't seem to get hot-headed or really lose his cool in any way.
Now, here's something that I want to point out.
Yeah.
With kuderes, the thing that make them amazing when they're done right, because so often they're done
like
really
Mikasa.
badly, like Mikasa or Yuki from Haruhi or Rei from NGE. Okay. The main thing about it is not just that they usually kind of suppress their emotions and stuff, but the things that make them awesome is those times when you get a glimpse into the emotions, right? When they actually get to come to the surface. That's what makes them...
Which is definitely coming for Todoroki.
Right. And so what happens when Todoroki loses his cool?
Right. Like, who's gonna get hurt? Who's gonna get burned? Like, there's so